Happy New Year and welcome to the January edition of Laurel Highlands Happenings. This episode is part of the Laurel Highlands Happenings podcast series. I'm Louise Henry and I'm absolutely thrilled to be hosting our new On the Road podcast where we can go out on location in the Laurel Highlands and chat to the attractions, the restaurants, the places to stay, the outdoor recreation. We can do it out on site and I'm really excited about this. But first of all, I want to say a massive thanks to our fantastic sponsors. First up, Abigail's Coffeehouse. They're located in historic Ligonier, Pennsylvania, and they pour more than coffee. It pours out heart and a love for the community, and you don't want to miss out on their cafe sandwiches, their cinnamons, and take some of their pepperoni rolls home to your family. Visit Abigail's Coffeehouse and experience the very essence of Ligonier. Warm, charming, and home. See you soon. Also, big thanks to Log Cabin Lodge and Suites, located in Donegal, in the centre of the Laurel Highlands. It is the perfect place to stay for your Laurel Highlands fun. And you can visit them, funindonegal.com, to learn more. So, to start off our podcast for 2022, we are visiting Ligonier. And what better place to start than the hub of the community, the town's coffee house, Abigails. And I have to say, we actually did this on location in the coffee house. So you're going to hear the teas and the coffees and the lattes being made, people coming in and out, and the doorbell going. It's just great. So please welcome Ruthie Stewart, co-owner of Abigail's Coffeehouse in Ligonier. Hello, Ruthie. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm thrilled too. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So tell us about Abigail's. How did it all start? Tell us first where you're located.
So we are on the Diamond next door to the library, which I personally think is the best spot on the whole Diamond. You get a beautiful view of the town hall from here, our beautiful library. It's just gorgeous. I love this spot.
It's very true. It is a lovely spot. It's right on the Diamond. We're looking out right now, and of course we still got the Christmas decorations up, and they're beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
Ligonier. No one does it better than Ligonier when it comes to the Christmas lights.
It's so picturesque. I can't get over it. It's like should be on the front of a postcard. I'm sure it is somewhere.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah. So, Ruthie, tell us, how did Abigail's get started?
So Abigail's was originally started by a wonderful family called the Buckwalders, and they opened it in 1998. So the business itself is 24 years old. So we've been a staple of Ligonier for quite some time now. In about 2005, I was attending Story Hour. I was very little. At the library, and my mom would bring me in here after school, and my mom and April got to be friends, and the Buckwalders are kind of ready to move on with their lives and offered the business to my mom, and she had always wanted to own a coffee shop and just jumped at the opportunity, and here we are so many years later in 2022 after so many things have happened in the world, just trucking right along.
That's brilliant. I love it. So What do you offer here? I mean, obviously, lots of lovely hot beverages, but
Absolutely.
You've got lots of specials.
We have so many specials. One of our big goals with the coffee shop was to be a central hub for the community. And as you can hear, our bells are going off. Our after-school crowd is here, which we love. You know, we want to be a family place, so we offer a lot of things. So we have, of course, our world-famous pepperoni rolls that everybody cannot get enough of. We do cafe-style sandwiches. We're famous for our chicken salad. We have ice cream. We do all of our wonderful craft espresso drinks, smoothies, teas. I mean, I have everything.
You have a lot of great specials. And
I do.
I know that, just through Christmas, the 12 great days of coffee or something?
So for Christmas time, we have 12 drinks that are named after the 12 days of Christmas. And we actually do a challenge every year and challenge people to drink them all or try them all before New Year's every year. And we did have about 5 or 6 winners this year that actually completed the challenge and tried them all over the Christmas season. And they're very, very good.
They are very good.
Yes.
I've had several of your lattes and they're very good. So Ruthie, Abigail's Coffee House it really is the centre of the community. Your parents really do embrace just giving back, don't they?
Well,
so tell us what you do here.
I'm so glad that you feel that way. Abigail's really is a home for me, and I think a really huge part of it is just the feeling that we provide here, the environment that we produce. It's just supposed to be very intentionally a part of the community. We want this to be a hub where people can come together and spend time together. We want to be a part of all the events. We wanted to, I have people come in on occasion that say, oh, I used to come here while I was in high school, and now my kids come here, and that is just something that you can't replicate. It's a part of the fabric of the community, and you can't get it anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's great. Multi-generational sort of coffee house goers. Brilliant. I love it.
Exactly. I love it too. It's my favorite.
So they give back in so many ways. I mean, there's a lot of events in Ligonier, a lot, and you really are in the centre of it, aren't you? Everybody comes in for a tea or a coffee, probably on the way to the event, during the event, or after the event.
Which is our favorite thing. That's what I hope everybody does. I encourage everyone to do. Ice Fest is just around the corner, and I think that's one of our favorites just because, it's cold outside, it's warm in here. You can get your warm drinks and stroll around and look at the beautiful ice. Every year, too, if your listeners want to visit our Facebook or our Instagram, we do a Spot Our Ice Sculpture giveaway. So if you take a picture with our ice sculpture and tag us with it on social media, you get entered to win a gift card. So we really like to, integrate ourselves in different ways into the events, and that's one of the fun ways we do it for Ice Fest.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Maybe I should do that, actually.
Maybe you should. This year I'll give you the sneak peek, we're going to have a penguin. We're very excited. So I think we're going to do Pick with the Penguin is going to be the title of our spot game this year.
Sweet. I'll have to look for that one.
There you go.
Any other events that you really throw yourselves into?
Oh, Light Up Night, of course, with the community. We love summer in Ligonier. It's in the middle of summer. Usually it's around July. They bring crafters into the Diamond. All of the stores do sidewalk sales. And that's kind of the flip side to Ice Fest, where it's, it's hot outside, and then we feature our smoothies and our ice creams and our frozen blended mochaccino rocket, which is also one of our most popular drinks. It's a frozen mocha in the blender. It's really refreshing at that time of year. But I just love the hustle and bustle because a lot of families come out for that one. And it's just, people getting to stop into shops that maybe they've never done before. And yeah, right in the heart of summer. I love summer in Ligonier.
Oh, I love Ligonier all year round.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just a lovely place to come and walk around. It's so walkable.
It's very walkable.
And the shops are great. There's such a lovely selection of shops, independently owned, boutique shops.
Independently owned, and it's always shocked me, so many of our businesses are women owned and women run, which I think is not something a lot of people know. My business is run by my mother and myself. My dad owns it, but he's the not so silent partner, I guess I should say. If you're ever in here on a Saturday morning, he'll be the loud guy standing behind the counter. But and I think it's really a cool thing.
It is. I mean, it's you've got the fort literally just walks just down the hill.
Yes.
Fort Ligonier, I should say, for those that don't know. You could spend a great day in town, hitting the shops, having something to eat at one of the restaurants or the bars, hitting the Fort Ligonier. And
And speaking of walking, the Stroll is actually another event that we do in Ligonier, where we bring in cars from the 1950s, classic cars in general. All of the town stays open late. We have a swing band on the Diamond. I think this place takes place during fall, maybe August. And actually all of our baristas in store here, we all dress up in 1950s attire. And we just hang out and dance all night and sing and serve, root beer floats. That's actually probably my favorite event that we're a part of.
It is a fun event. I have actually, participated and attended that event, and it is fun. There's some great cars that come into town for that.
Absolutely, gorgeous cars.
Yeah. So, it's been great to chat to you, Ruthie.
It's been so good to talk to you too.
Is there anything else we should know about Abigail's Coffeehouse?
I guess I just want to say that I've made some of my best friends through the store. I've watched kids grow up here. I've grown up here. This crazy, fun, loud, 24-year connection with our community. There's nothing like it. So just thank you to all of the patrons. If you've ever stopped in to see us, thank you so much. And thank you for making our family your family and our place your place. And we just really appreciate that. And I would just say, make sure you stop in and see us on Ice Fest. Always keep an eye on our Facebook page. We're always posting fun updates there, letting people know what we have going on.
Brilliant. So, yeah. How do people find you on Facebook? Is it Abigail's?
It's Abigail's Coffeehouse on Facebook and Abigail's Coffeehouse Ligonier on Instagram.
Okay. And just one last thing. Any great beverages you really recommend?
Okay, so you're going to come in for Ice Fest and you are going to get our Ice Fest mocha. And that is a salted caramel mocha. Absolutely amazing. It's honestly my favorite for this time of year. And just so y'all know, we are going to be open for Ice Fest Saturday 8 to 7. So we'll be open a little bit into the evening. If you're coming in to see the ice at night, you can stop in and get a nice warm something. And then Sunday will be open 11 to 5. And we're not typically open on Sundays during the winter time, but we are open for this event.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes. Yeah. And I did notice that on the information about the Ice Fest that, you can come in the evenings and it's all lit up. So you can see the sculptures, which I think is pretty cool as well.
It is really
It's a different
fun.
Perspective on it, isn't
so
it?
Come see us before 7 on Saturday night.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ruthie. Thanks for being a guest.
Of course. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
So my second guest today is a lovely lady. Her name is Cindy Panau, and she is the proud owner of Post and Rail Men's Shop in Ligonier. It's right in the heart of town, right on the diamond. And she's also the head honcho, the chairwoman of Ligonier's Ice Festival, which is known as Ice Fest. So Cindy, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on as a guest.
Thank you so much, Louise. It really is nice to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's brilliant to chat to you. Now, you've been involved with Ligonier Ice Fest for a long time. Tell us how long you've been involved.
Well, the Ice Fest basically started in February of 1992. Now, I was not around at that point, but that's when it first began. That was the inception. With Roger Luther as the chairperson. He was working with Ernie DiMartino, who is our premier ice sculptor of DiMartino Ice in Jeanette. And he came to Ligonier and basically introduced ice carving as a form of art, which really, if you kind of look at the sculptures as you walk around, it really is. And the other thing that I think we're most proud of is that Ligonier was the first town in the Laurel Highlands with an ice fest.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's a great claim to fame, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So how long have you been involved? How many years?
Okay, I started in 1998 with Bill Hughes when he was the chairman, and the ice torch was handed over to me in the year 2000, and 22 years later, I'm still here. It's been 31 years that we've had this, and we're celebrating our 31st year this year.
So it's the 31st Ice Festival, and you've been involved 22 years. Now, yes. I bet you've seen some changes.
I've seen a few changes, and actually, Louise, all for the better.
Brilliant. That's good to hear. So how many sculptures did they start with right at the very beginning compared to now?
We started out with 5 sculptures.
5?
5.
And how many are you planning for the 31st festival?
60.
60?
So you do the math.
Wow, that's amazing. So can you remember the first 5, or is that just...
Well, I was not even in Ligonier at that point, but, and looking back at some of the records, they were some of actually the ice sculptures that Ernie still does today. He started out with, and there was one in each of the quadrants on the diamond and one on the bandstand. And now we squeeze in 6, 7, 8 on the quadrants was still a feature on the bandstand.
So real classic sort of carvings back then. So tell us about this year's Ice Fest. When is it happening? What are the dates? What are the times? Just give us a little overview of the Ice Fest.
Well, it is January 22nd and 23rd. And it is the sculptures will be set up around the diamond like last year. We changed it a little bit due to, the pandemic restrictions and whatever. But we set it up around the diamond, all up and down East and Main Street, also North and South Market.
I was going to say, with 60 sculptures, you've really got to stretch it out a little bit because that's a lot.
Right.
That's very cool then. I bet some really unique sculptures, different carvings.
Well, there is. And, every year people want to know, when I get talked to with newspapers or whatever, they want to know, well, what kind of sculptures are you going to have? And I really don't like to give away any of the secrets that we have, but I can tell you right now, you just better look out, watch out for some chickens, some dogs, some eagles, wolves, hearts, flowers, fish, and that's just the beginning.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I like the idea of the chickens. I've got chickens at home, so that's fun. That's very, very cool. Apart from the ice sculptures that's all around town, what other activities can folks enjoy while they're in just walking around, admiring the sculptures?
Well, the first thing is that we do have the horse-drawn sleigh rides by Misty Haven Carriage. They'll be doing sleigh rides both days from 12 to 3, weather permitting. And weather permitting means if it's a huge snowstorm or icy, they're not going to bring the horses out.
Of course, yeah.
And also, this is a big draw, is that we have 2 free concerts in Town Hall, the auditorium, sponsored by Commercial Bank and Trust of PA. Saturday at 2:00, we're going to have Big Fat Jazz, which I know is a huge draw for our summer band concerts. And then Sunday at 12:30, we will have Candle in the Wind, also a big draw at the Ice Fest, or at the summer band concerts.
Right. So that sounds great. Now, is there any admission for these concerts, or just free, walk in, find a seat?
There is absolutely, everything is free. Just come one, come all.
Oh, brilliant. So people just jump in their car, drive to Ligonier. Now, where's parking? The usual parking lots in town?
Yes. There's nothing, blocked off or whatever. So it's just, find a parking space and...
plug the meter.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Okay, so people can park up, they jump out their car, they can walk around town, they can do the music. Does the Ice Fest offer any refreshments?
Well, yes and no, but primarily and most importantly, we have our local restaurants, which we really promote because they offer good food, and a lot of them are going to have Ice Fest specials in addition to their their normal menu. But in addition to that, we're going to have freshly popped kettle corn, which we have every year. And we're also going to have the ever-popular spaghetti dinner from the Ligonier Volunteer Hose Company #1 in Town Hall. That will start on Saturday. It's only Saturday only, from 11 o'clock to sell out. And believe me, they sell out. It's a huge draw for them. And it's a good time to come in and get warm.
Right.
And then get refreshed and walk around and visit those sculptures. But don't forget... all the merchants have got indoor sidewalk sales.
Right.
Good time to pick up a deal or two.
So this Ice Fest really does embrace the local merchants, the local restaurants. It's a real community outreach. It's about encouraging folks to come into town, enjoy the ice sculptures, and just support the local businesses too. Wouldn't you say?
I would definitely say that. It's just... that I think is one of the most things that I'm proud of, is the fact that we do involve the community and we, get people here. And you can tell just by walking around and looking, at the smiles on the people's faces.
Yeah.
People really enjoy coming up. And also, you got to remember, Louise, too, this event is coming at a time when people just want to get out of the house.
Right.
It's time to get some fresh air, walk around, get some exercise. The kids love it. They love to guess at the sculptures. It's just it's a fun thing. And, like you said, our community is very involved in this event.
Yes.
I have loyal sponsors that come back year after year after year.
Oh, that's great. That's good to hear. It is good to get out and interact, because we all get a little bit of the winter blues, especially after the holidays. And it is good to get out. I enjoy the Ice Fest because it is lovely just to walk around, see people you haven't seen for a few weeks maybe, and go in and pop into the shop, see what sales they have, grab a hot coffee or a hot chocolate at Abigail's Coffeehouse or the Kingfisher. It's just a real delight. I mean, Ligonier is a lovely town all year round, and it just looks smashing in the holidays, and with the Ice Fest too, with the sculptures all around, and they're fun. It's great photo opportunities, isn't it? I mean, we all love to take selfies, and the ice sculptures, some of them are just amazing. And going back to your point about it being works of art, absolutely, because it just blows me away how they can start with a block of ice and then create this wonderful, intricate sculpture. It's just I wouldn't know where to start, would you?
I most certainly wouldn't, but I can tell you after the 20-some years that I've been working with Ernie and what I call my Ice Fest boys, it is amazing. It absolutely is amazing. They start with a 300-pound block of solid ice and create an angel or create a fish or a beautiful heart. And then when you put 2, 3, 4, or even 5 blocks of ice together, you can imagine what 1,500 pounds of ice can look like. The detail is amazing. And also, I don't want to forget to say too that the sculptures are illuminated at night, and they're beautiful at night, and they're going to be here as long as the weather permits.
Yes, of course, because you can't mess with Mother Nature.
That's
but
right.
Ruthie and I were talking about that earlier, about they've been sort of lit up at night, and it's a different perspective to see the ice sometimes, at night with the light reflecting off it. So I can tell you really enjoy and you love what you do. I mean, you've been doing this for 22 years. Good for you. I mean, it's a lot of work. So, hearty applause to you for doing this year after year, because it's a lovely, lovely community activity event. Do you have anything else you'd like to share?
No, nothing other than the fact that, like you had said earlier, get in your car and come on down.
Right.
And, it doesn't really even matter. If it's 7 degrees or 70 degrees, people will come.
This is true. You just might be eating ice cream from the creamery rather than hot chocolate.
I know. I have to say, one time we had a sculpture in front of our shop, and it was a dog. And by the end of the day, it was a puppy.
Yes. If folks that are listening or want to learn more about Ligonier Ice Fest, where can they find that information? Is that from the chamber?
Yes, call the chamber at 724-238-4200, and they will be happy to give you the information that you may require. But please, do come, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Cindy, it's been an absolute joy chatting to you. Thank you so much for filling us in, giving us a little bit of history about the Ice Fest. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
And that's a wrap for the January edition. Thanks to our guests, Ruthie Stewart of Abigail's Coffeehouse and Cindy Panau for Ligonier Ice Fest. And thanks to our sponsors, Abigail's Coffeehouse, located in historic Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Pours more than coffee. It pours out heart and a love for the community. You won't want to miss out on their cafe sandwiches, their cinnamons, and take some of their pepperoni rolls home to your family. Visit Abigail's Coffeehouse and experience the very essence of Ligonier, warm, charming home. See you soon. And also thank you to Log Cabin Lodge and Suites, located in Donegal, in the centre of the Laurel Highlands. It's the perfect place to stay for your Laurel Highlands fun. And you can find out more when you visit funindonegal.com. You have been listening to another episode of Laurel Highlands Happenings. This episode is part of the Laurel Highlands Happenings podcast series, and all events and businesses mentioned today can be found at golaurelhighlands.com. And if you're active on social media, do follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.